Hi everybody, Brian Seymour, Director of Instructional Technology for Pickerington Local School District. Today I've got some exciting news to share with you. We're launching a brand new instructional tool for all of our teachers and for all of our students to help us expand learning, make learning a 24/7 opportunity, and getting our kids to learn how to read a little bit better with online tools. Getting them to read a little bit more on screens and do research just a little bit better than what we've done in the past. So today on this episode of Seymour Educate Podcasts, we are going to talk about the brand new tool called the Cengage Digital Library. All right, so the Cengage Digital Library is actually going to be a library that's going to be the K through 6th grade level is going to be one, and 7th through 8th is going to be another one. So on this episode, we're going to concentrate solely with the K through 6, and watch the other episode if you're a secondary teacher, okay? So what we're dealing with here is we're looking at how is it that we can make kids start to read online? How is it that we can utilize texts a little bit better, and how can we utilize them a little bit better over the masses? So let's pretend that you as a teacher want to have every kid in your classroom reading the same text. Well, sometimes that's hard in paper copies because you got to buy each one of those. With this, we could have every 4th grader, let's say, reading the exact same ebook at the exact same time on any device as long as it's web enabled. So it really opens up the door for a lot more usage in the masses as well. Also, this also includes a really cool research pieces. So at the elementary level, they're called Kids Info Bits, and we're going towards National Geographic online. All right, so what I want to take you through and show you how to get to this. So first of all, you got to find the link. So if you go to our school's website, and we're going to go over here to academics, and we're going to go to technology in the classroom. And when we go to that, we'll pull it up to the technology page. And we're going to pull down to here where it says the Gale Digital Library. We're going to click on this link, and this will then take us to our landing page for the digital library. So each one of those schools is listed. And once again, if you're a K through 6 teacher, you all have the same resources. If you're a 7 through 12, you have the same resources. If you are one of those grade levels, let's say you're 6th or 7th grade, and you've got 6th grade kids that are reading at a higher level, you're more than welcome to use stuff from the junior high. And vice versa. If you've got a 7th grade kid who's reading at a lower grade level, go ahead and use the lower ones as well. Okay? If you click on any of these will walk you through each individual building. There are links and training guides over here too if you want a little bit more assistance. So let's go into one of the elementary schools. Doesn't really matter which one. So we'll go into Tusing. And when we go into Tusing, you'll see that you have 3 main boxes and 2 different tabs. So you have your resources, which are the Gale Virtual Reference Library, Kids Info Bits, and Kids National Geographics. In addition to these, if you click on eBooks, you also have a whole slew of eBooks that were chosen that matches your curriculum and that you can embed right into what it is that you're currently doing. So to access any of these, so let's say we'll go with what is the rock cycle, since I used to teach geology. Okay. It's then going to pull up with a checking to see if you're inside the school district type thing. And once it finds that you're inside the school district or outside the school district, it's then going to pull this in. And here now, you can get to any of these pieces and parts that you may want to. So if you're inside the school district, it's an automatic login. If you're outside the school district, there is a login process. I will send that out into an email, as I really don't want all of YouTube to know what our password is. So along with this, you can click on any of these pages, and you can move right into the actual article. And as you can see, lots of pictures, lots of citations, things like that. The other thing that I really like about this is, let's make sure my volume's turned up here, is that kids can actually listen to this. It'll actually talk it to them. So if you click on the play button.
Rocks are the solid materials that make up most of Earth's surface. The surface is made of different types of rock.
It'll actually start
We
to
see rocks
speak
around us every
the
day.
text to them. And what I
Rocks
really
are in
like
the
is that it
walls of
highlights the
buildings,
sentence
in the
and it
ground we
highlights the
walk on,
word
and
or
in
the
the
phrase of the
pebbles and
sentence
cliffs
and
at
the
the
word
beach.
that's being taught.
There
So
are
then the
rocks
kids
under
can
the
be able to
sea and
follow
in the
along
soil.
and be able to
Rocks make
look at
the
that a little bit better.
landscapes we
You
see
can also
around
do
us.
some changes here. You can change the texting. You can change the speed. So if the speed is too quick for the kids can change those, and so on. A couple other just color type things if you wanted to. Okay. The other thing that I really like, especially for our growing number of ESL students, are the part over here where it says translate the article. So if you go over here, you can translate the article into any of these different languages. And let's see, Spanish is the quickest to translate. So as you can see now, everything gets translated into Spanish. Okay. So if you have students that are ESL, by all means, use this, change this around, see what works the best for those kids. Okay. And then back into English. Okay. You have citation tools. You can email this. You can download it. You can print it. You can make highlights to this if you want. So if you wanted to highlight something, you could highlight that, make it a certain color. And now the kids, when they come back to that part, you know, if you're doing close reading with the kids, you can have them highlight maybe words they don't understand, things. You can download the spoken portion as an MP3 if you want. Okay. So if we go back now, we're going to close out of the ebook portion of this. So once again, that's kind of the same process for any of these ebooks. And what I really like about this is that, like I said, you could have as many kids on a city through time as you possibly want. If you wanted your entire class, if you wanted your entire building, if we wanted the entire district to be on at the same time, we could. So that kind of avoids those issues of, well, I got to share this set of books and share that set of books and so on. The other thing is these are all device agnostic, so it doesn't matter what type of device you're on as long as you've got to have access to the internet. Okay. So if we go back to resources, we're going to take a look real quick at the Kids Info Bits and National Geographic Kids. So if we go to Kids Info Bits, it is going to ask you for a password. So once again, I'm not going to share that password with everybody. Let's see if I can get the right password in here. Okay. I'll share that in the email that's coming out. And here's your Kids Info Bits. It is basically a big giant search engine that's kind of been broken down. There are different parts in here. There's a major search engine here. There's an advanced search tools here. And then they've broken down the articles and the resources into different pieces and parts. So there's two main pages. So let's say I wanted to look up something dealing with technology. If I click on technology, it'll then give me even more broken down. So let's say computers and telecommunications. And now what do I want to look at? I want to look at the iPad. So I'll look at iPad. And now what this will give me is this will give me any pictures, any magazine articles, and any news that is referencing an iPad. So we have one picture, 97 magazine articles, and 947 news articles. Now, obviously, if you gave the kids all 1,000 plus of those things at once, it's going to really overwhelm them. So what it does is it picks the either most recent ones or the most common ones that it's been used to. Okay, so here is this. Here are the magazine articles, and here are the newspaper articles. Now, if you want to get more, you just click on New or View All, and it will give you every single one of them that's in there. All right. The one thing you should probably be noticing is there are these little dots or squares in front, and these are all on the yellow side, so those are all meaning towards content levels. So if you're looking at things for kids that maybe this group needs something lower than this group does, so the green circles are basic, the squares are intermediate, and the advanced ones are red triangles. So the search engine works exactly the same way. So let's say I'm trying to look up something dealing with volcanoes. So if I look up volcanoes, here now is everything that deals with volcanoes. So with this now, we have 275 books, 39 pictures, 771 magazines, and 252 news articles that are dealing with this. And as you can see, here's the green button. So this would be easier. This would be intermediate. And if we found any triangles, those would be more difficult. All right. So now we're looking at some pictures. We're looking at magazine articles. So let's say I really, really, really like this article here. and I want my kids to watch it, or to listen to it, excuse me, or to read about it, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here, and where it says to bookmark it here, you're going to click on bookmark, and it's going to give you this really long bookmark, all right? So you're going to copy this, so file, copy, and then you can paste that in somewhere digital. So if you're going to use Google Docs to send kids to certain places, if you're going to use Google Classroom, if you're going to use your school website, you would link that. You want to make sure that you use this link here and not the link that's up here, because the link that's up here is created by Google, okay? This link here is created by Cengage, and they will make sure that that link never gets broken, or you don't get that 404 error that, all of a sudden you've got 20 kids ready to go and none of them can get onto it. Use this link here. So once again, I got that through using the bookmark page. Okay. If you wanted kids to come to this page here, which is everything on volcanoes, you can do the same thing. You can bookmark it here. This will now bring them up to this page, which will give them the whole litany of all of the different things on volcanoes. Okay. So once again, just a really cool type of a search engine. Play around with some of the advanced searches too. Some things that teachers were asking for was like dealing with Lexile levels. You can put those inside of here. Content levels, individual Lexile scores, keywords and this, keywords and this and this. You can put multiple things in there. Things with the images, all kinds of different pieces and parts that you can access while you're in Kids Info Bits. Okay? The third resource that you have is then Kids National Geographic. So we've been getting National Geographic in print copy for a long time, and it's getting really, really expensive. This now has really reduced our cost down, and now we have the whole world of National Geographics, because as you scroll down through here, you will now start to see we now get National Geographic books, National Geographic magazines, and you can have access to not just the current one, but all of the different previous archived versions of National Geographics. And these work pretty much the same way. So if we go back here go to Browse Magazines, there's all your different copies of Browse Magazines. And as you can see, this goes all the way back to February 2009. And we're all the way up to May 2015. So if we go back to home, and we click on any one of these, so we can pull up a video, and it's got the same types of things. It's got the bookmarks, it's got your citation tools, and then you've got your video. So your video will start to play. And the nice thing that I like about this is that everything in here has been vetted. Everything in here is correct. Everything is accurate. So you don't have to worry about your kids going to something maybe like Wikipedia that may not be completely accurate all of the time. New York City. Everything you're going to find here inside of Cengage is going to be accurate and going to be updated. Even hotter. Okay. So there's your videos you can have kids watch, looking at pictures, looking at different books. You can also do searches up here. So let's say we did that search on volcanoes earlier. We can do a search on volcanoes. There's everything that we have dealing with volcanoes. Once again, this will read to you. This will help translate all of those things that you saw earlier. So once again, this is just one of those types of things where I think it's fairly easy to use. It's just get in there, play around with it, see what works for you. What is it that you can use in your classroom to integrate this into your curriculum that you currently do? So when you're looking at your ELA curriculum, when you're looking at your science curriculum, social studies curriculum, what can you embed? What can you use in a regular classroom setting? We have a lot of iPads. This will work perfectly fine on all of our iPads that we have. So I challenge you just to spend a few minutes going through this, figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how it is that you could use this in your classroom. Your instructional coaches will be talking to you about this a bunch as we move through the school year. And as we move through the school year, if we find out that this is very beneficial, we're going to add more to this. And we're going to give you more and more resources that will be online digital resources. So, once again, thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe over here to my YouTube channel, so that way you can find out all these cool videos that we're constantly releasing and constantly out. And thank you very much. So I challenge you to go forth and be innovative.